Welcome, everybody. It's Brent Attaway. I'm excited. It's our first ever CRMX Cash Clinic, and we're going to completely crush it today. I'm going to be sharing my screen in a minute as well. And this is meant to be a little bit interactive. So I'm going to show you the first 30 minutes or so is going. Sometimes it's 40 minutes. It depends on how much I'm going to have to train on and teach on. But that first, let's say, half of the cash clinic is going to be very much demonstration. I'm going to demonstrate a particular feature and benefit of how you can use that. I'm going to give you use cases and examples, and then you can go implement that into your own CRMX account. If you don't have a CRMX account, you can get one. Go to crmxfreetrial.com and you can get a free trial. So it fully functional free trial. You can do everything you want in it. So anyways, I'm glad you're here. So the interactive part, the second half, before I share my screen, I want to make sure you're clear. The second half of the cash clinic is meant for you. So there is a chat button. So it depends on where you're attending from. Some of you are attending from a live stream, just like on a Facebook page or something like that. And there should be some kind of chat there. I won't know your name if you're commenting from Facebook, because that's how it works with the software I'm using called StreamYard. But if you are commenting inside, if you are wanting to attend and comment with your name, you can actually just go to CRMX Cash Clinic. And actually, I'll put that there right now. Here, hold on one second. I'm going to put this on screen. Let me show you. Go to CRMX cashclinic.com/live. There we go. This one right here, crmxcashclinic.com/live. We are live there. So every week I'll be live at that spot. You can register so you can get reminders as well. And that's just at if you just don't type in the live part /live, you can actually register so you'll receive a reminder every week. Because if you're like me, you forget. And so it's a little easier to do that. Let me see. Let me make sure if we are going live. Yeah. So on the live page, you should be with us live, and there should be a little chat function. It looks like a little chat bubble. And you can click that. And you can say join the chat, and it's going to ask you to type your first and last name in. And I've noticed on that page you have to like scroll, on your phone at least. You have to scroll. If you're on a desktop, it's going to be easier. And then you say join chat. That way I know, like, when you comment, it'll say if your name's, Sarah Smith, then I'll see that. And able to talk to you, Sarah. So, all right, that's it. That's the housekeeping items. Let's get started in side of the first cash clinic. So today, the main thing we're going to go over is going to be all about how to use lead scoring to accelerate your follow-up and the effectiveness of your follow-up. In other words, hey, I want CRMX to show me my hottest leads, and that's who I want to focus on right now. I have 5 minutes. I have 10 minutes. I have 15 minutes. It's a Friday afternoon, and I'm running a competition. I'm in a sales competition, and I just need to close one more deal to win. Who should I contact? Right? That's another example. So there's lead scoring is great. Overall, though, without having a competition or a deadline, overall, the question is always, who is hot right now that actually is based off of their behavior should I go ahead and follow up with? So I'll go into some of this. I'll even show you how to automate this. I call it the BAFU system, BAFU, behavioral accelerated follow-up. And it's actually automated follow-up as well. And it'll even automatically notify you. So that's pretty cool. All right. So first, as we get started, I see some of you here. If you could comment, give me your name, tell me where you're from, tell me if you're a CRMX client or not. You do not have to be a CRMX client to participate in these. You can still get a massive benefit from this, even if you use a different automated CRM, because I teach a lot of stuff that can be applied anywhere. But I also am showing you very specific CRMX functionalities that may not be in your own CRM. So just be aware of that as you're here. You can always learn from this, and you can certainly ask questions. It's not like it's off limits that you can ask questions if you're not a CRMX customer. My hope, of course, is by bringing value to you that you will become a CRMX customer if you're not one yet. But that's fine if you're not. All right, cool. I'm looking for comments. What's up, Brian? Good to see you, man. Awesome, awesome. Good to have you here. Guys, like Brian, go ahead and put your comments in the chat there so I know who you are and where you're calling in from / joining us from, I should say. And we'll continue forward. So I'm going to share my screen here. Uh-huh. Yep. I'm in the right account there. I'm in the right one here. Now I'm just going to be sharing my screen. You guys go ahead and let me know right when you see my screen. Just give me a thumbs up, please. We're going to do share entire screen, and that's the one I want to share. Sweet. There we go. Let me know that you're seeing this. It is Wednesday, October 25th, 5:06 p.m. Central right now. So let me know that we're seeing this. Hey, what's up, Pat? Pennsylvania. We use Sunbase. Cool. Pat, that's awesome. So Sunbase, I'm not sure everything they have, but Sunbase is definitely more, or from what I've seen, and I haven't personally used it in a long time, but from what I've seen, Sunbase started more as an operational CRM, meaning you already have the customer and now it's time to fulfill and keep them updated, keep your team updated, keep all that stuff there. So what I always suggest, guys, is you have a marketing and sales specific CRM. So it's very unusual. I haven't seen a CRM that crushes it on both ends. And I pay attention to the word I use there, crushes it. So I've seen a bunch of CRMs try to do it all. Like I'm talking marketing and sales over here, CRM, and then fulfillment. We'll call it fulfillment or service delivery CRM. I've seen several try to do it all, but they don't crush it in all of it. They're usually better on the fulfillment side or the marketing and sales side, right? The majority of CRMs out there are for marketing and sales, and CRMX is that same thing. Just to give you an idea, Pat, just so you know where I'm coming from here. Semper Solar out of Chicago, what's up? Good to have you here. I can't see who it is from Semper. I don't know if that's Jose. I don't know if that I don't know who that is, but welcome. Thank you for being here. Again, guys, if you are a CRMX client, that's awesome. If not, you don't have to be. Just join us here. You're seeing my screen. We're going to go over features, what's coming soon. I'm not going to waste a lot of time on this because I know you're here to get down to the nitty gritty. I'm actually going to show you lead scoring in the BAFU system. And then I'm also going to show you something really powerful that I've been waiting on for 3 years. So like I've been waiting to get this feature inside of our CRM for 3 years. So actually it's not quite 3 years, but still it's been a while. And finally it's here. I'm going to show you how it's very powerful. And it's called contact and opportunity followers. And I'll show you why it's powerful. And then we'll do a little Q&A. I'll even post the link for you guys to join if you want to be in the hot seat. The hot seat is, and this is if we have time. Today, I don't have anybody pre-scheduled for the hot seat. Ideally, we have somebody pre-scheduled. So for example, let's say, Brian, you're on CRMX Pro account and you say, hey, that's awesome. Can I be this? I want to be in the hot seat because I have something specific I want you to help me with, or an idea I want to explore with you on building this inside of CRMX, right? And so then we would put you on the hot seat and we'd get to work and everybody would watch us as we build some cool automation or follow-up inside of your CRMX account. So if we do have time today, I'm going to just call on somebody and I'll have to bring you on camera. You have to be willing to come on camera and talk with me. So I'll post the invite link inside of there, and then I'll bring you what's called bring you on stage, right? Okay, so here we go. First of all, before we get into those, let me just say this. The new features that got released this last 30 days, and especially this last week, are insane. It's a little overwhelming, but the tech team does a great job at this. without going into detail, CRMX is built off of a platform called like a CRM agency platform called High Level, and that High Level team is essentially my tech team, and they're releasing all kinds of crazy stuff, crazy good stuff. I will point out of all of it for solar, what's probably going to be beneficial to you. And I'll show you the use cases of how I would do it if I had my solar sales team right now and how I would use it. And then, of course, you're going to come up with ideas of your own and go ahead and implement it. Okay. Some of these features will literally save you $1,000 a month, close to $1,000 a month, if not more, on what has been released and added to CRMX without an extra cost. Now, I shouldn't say without an extra cost on all the editions. We do have Pro Edition and Extreme Edition right now. Those are the two you can sign up for. Extreme Edition, if you have that one, it will save you at least $1,000. Some of this is not included in Pro. I'm not going to go into that right now. Okay, so here is what. Let me, before I show this, if you want early access to a lot of this stuff or any of these things that are being released, you can always just click on settings. Once you log into CRMX, click on the settings, and under settings, there's a bunch of stuff in here, but one of them is called labs, and you just have to turn these on. See, like these toggles, turn these on, and they will be on for you. Okay. And at that, so look, like this is all new stuff. So I'm like, oh yeah, I want to see the right panel and expandable sidebar and conversations. Sure. The iCal or the iCloud calendar integration. Yeah, I want that. Seems useful to me. Certificates. Sure. I don't even know what that is. It's not going to hurt anything to turn it on, by the way. So I should say by default, I turn it on if I'm you, and then I'll figure out how to use it later. But eventually you'll see it says it's going live in 21 days. Some of them are on here and they're grayed out because they are now live. And then eventually some of these just disappear over time. Okay. Because they're already live features. All right. Hopefully that makes sense. If you want them turned on, you have to go turn them on in settings and labs. So here's a taste of what's been released, and some of it's in labs. So you got to go turn this on. Okay. Lead scoring, we're going to go over today. Contact and opportunity followers, we're going to go over today. IVR, this one's really cool. I'm not going to go over today, but essentially it's a interactive voice response. What that means is that you can create a call tree, and essentially a call tree creates the benefit to you as a solar company. Even if you're a one-off like solar rep using CRMX and you don't have a team, you can still create a call tree, and it just creates more credibility and authority when somebody calls into your phone number. Okay. Before, what would happen if you can have a custom phone number, if you didn't know that, in CRMX, and that phone number you can buy and it's yours and it's unique to your company. And if somebody calls your number, it's gonna essentially you had to forward it to somebody else's phone number, like your own cell phone or somebody's cell phone, or you could actually have it ring inside the app. But there was no call tree. And I'll explain what that is if you don't know what that is. But like essentially, you just had to call one person. You had to forward that number to one person. Okay. So now the benefit is with a call tree, it saves that. It brings that new functionality that you're used to. So here's an example. Hey, thanks for calling Solar Kings. Press 1 for sales. Press 2 for support. Press 3 if you know to your party's extension. And then if they press 1, it will direct the calls to your sales team, or press 2, direct the call to your support team, etc. Okay. So that's really nice. That's awesome. I think that's really, really good. And it'll help you. Again, the benefit is creates more credibility and authority. And then the one that I don't have in here is obviously going to organize your calls and get to the right people. So it's not like always coming to your phone, right? All right, cool. Let's see. New customizable dashboard. That one's fun. If you guys didn't see that, it's not just fun, it's highly useful. So a dashboard, it used to be just pretty much standard stuff. Now I can hit edit right here. You have to be an admin, by the way, to do this. You won't be able to do this if you're a standard user. You'll have to ask your admin to do this, or to give you permission to do this. And you can add different widgets now. Hey, show me how many contacts that were created on this date range. That's fine. But I want these conditions. Only show me contacts, how many contacts that have this tag, right? So that are whatever that tag is. And then they'll show up here as a number field. Here, I'll I'll just grab one right here. This is just a demo account, guys, so it's not going to show anything. But see, it just added this widget, and then I can grab it on those little dots right there, and I can drag it to wherever I want. And you can now, your reporting is becoming more powerful. Let's say I wanted this towards the top, and I don't like this opportunity status one, so I can delete it. I can delete this one and this one, and then I want this to be a little bit bigger. And then let's say I had my 3 top KPIs that I measure, and then if I want to switch the dates and show me different ones, I can. So I hit save, and now you can say, show me this month's KPIs on these, my top KPIs. I can rename this as well. Instead of contacts count, it could say whatever I want it to say right here. And that's how many people were there. So there's all kinds of widgets. It's not just a counter. You can do line bar graphs. You can do appointment reports. This is what I think is most useful for solar, is you can do this now. Appointment reports. Okay. So like, show me my reports on my showed appointments, my confirmed appointments, my no shows, and I can show those numbers for the week. And it's not hard. So in my sales meetings now, it's like, cool. It looks like we had 22 booked appointments. 18 of them showed up, and this many no showed or canceled. How did they go? Like, what happened? What's going on? Right. And it's just another way you can quickly quantify those numbers right here. Now I get that a funnel could do that as well. And that's my favorite widget right here, this funnel widget. But overall, just know that your dashboard is now becoming very customizable. It's just going to keep getting better and better as our team makes it better as well. Okay. All right, cool. I spent a little more time on that one, but I think that's really useful, especially for you managers or owners. And then just know that there's this thing called this activity cards, which is interesting. It's the ability to view and track activities within the conversation thread. What that's going to do for you is this. If I go to conversations right now, these are all just like fake conversations. Let's see if I can start one right now. I'm going to go to a contact record, and I am going to go to Bob Marley here, and I'm going to email Bob, right? And then there is a, so test, send. And you see how this shows up right here? That's awesome. That's great. Cool. Happy for it, right? And that's normal. That's always happened, by the way. So it's not like this is unusual that this is happening. The key is now if somebody books appointment, or if there's different activities now that you can filter by. If they created an opportunity, it'll show up now. If you use the payments and invoice feature on here, that'll show up now. But you can also filter. You can say show me all, or you can just say show me only appointments, and it'll show you or only the appointments that have been booked with this person. Now it's a little bit redundant in a good way, meaning you can go over here and still see their appointments, right? But what's nice is it's chronological. I wish I had an example for you, but imagine it being like there's an email and a text, and this is in a chronological order, right? Like the timeline. So on August 25th, an email was sent, and then let's say tomorrow a text. So it'd say August 26th, a text was sent, and they replied back. Then on August 27th, appointment was booked right there. I can see it, and that's what will show up as an appointment card. So now it's like showing you what happens in that order and not just the conversations, which is really cool. And again, if you don't like it or you don't want to see some of that, you can filter it as well. It defaults to everything. Good. So that one is very beneficial, I think, especially if you're a setter or a closer and you're trying to scroll through and see what the heck happened to this conversation, or you're following up with somebody and what's the last things that happened over the, let's just say over the last 30 days, you're scrolling, you're like, wow, okay, they booked an appointment with me. They've done this, and we've had these conversations really quick as you scroll through. So that's really nice. Let's see what else. Certificates inside courses. I'm not going to go into that one. Proposals, estimates, and contracts. This one's really good. The use case on this, guys, in solar is going to be if you want to get rid of tools like PandaDocs or DocuSign. This will say, like DocuSign, if you use that to sign a lot of contracts for these reasons that I'm listing here, you're going to save a lot of money over the years. So like over a year's time, you'll probably save up to $1,000. just by using this new proposal estimates contract tool. Okay. I'm not going to go into how to create it. Just know that it exists, and you can watch our tutorials inside of CRMX. Okay. It literally shows you how to use it, but the use cases are awesome. So like if you're hiring new employees or sales contractors, 1099s or W2s, then you're able to put your contracts in here. And when you hire them, trigger the automation, sends it to them. When they sign, it notifies you, notifies them, give you both a copy, right? So you have legal documents with date and time stamped. It's legal documents. It's like can be held up in the court of law, right? So that's and then you can do like agreements with vendors for if you have custom agreements with vendors when you're bringing on maybe sub dealers or dealers. And if you're a EPC and you're using CRMX and you want to bring on dealers, and you can have all your agreements in there. Vice versa, if you're a dealer and you want an agreement with your EPC and you're in control of that agreement, you would send it to them. Compensation agreements with your sales rep. So not just hiring and saying, here's your responsibilities and we expect this out of you. You can also do custom compensation agreements with your sales. But like it's so important as you build your team to have legal documentation of things, because it only takes one time for you to regret not having that legal documentation. Okay. And then other ones, special like customer agreements, it would be useful for. So if you don't have like marketing permission for customers, like when you put testimonials, if you didn't know this, if you get a testimonial from a customer, sure, you can throw it on your website or wherever else on social media, but they can tell you legally not to use it, and even file a lawsuit and cause just at least havoc for you for a little while if you didn't get permission from them. Even verbal permission does not matter. They can ask you to take it down. Then you got to go to your website and all the places that it's ever been and take it down. Well, it's easier just to ask their permission. So when you get the testimonial, say, or when you request the testimonial, they say, sure, I would love to. Say, great, here's how you do it. Submit it here and just sign this agreement. So that gives us permission to use it in our marketing materials. And then they do it. That people are fine with doing that. It's normal. But at least you have legal documentation. Now you don't have to use something like DocuSign to make that happen. You can just send them the agreement and it's automated. So there's just a lot of what I'm showing you is not just sales and marketing. It's streamlining your processes. And it's really, really nice. Okay. E-commerce stores is a new feature since we're getting into that world as well, not just solar. But for solar use case, I just thought of this right now. I mean, if you guys have a swag department and you make your 1099 employees, which you should legally, have them purchase it from you, even if you give them a coupon code, that's 100% off. They can go in and get their shirt ordered or their hat ordered or their lanyard ordered, and you can put it in an e-commerce store and use it that way just for your employees as you hire and get them onboarded and trained. So that's nice. All right, those things will be or have been released. You can start using them now. What's coming soon, I'm not going to go into. Just know that there's cool stuff coming soon. So lead scoring, you guys ready to rock and roll? Lead scoring in Bafu system. I hope this is going to be useful to you. The way that I would use this is every day. How often? So I'm going to answer these questions. What is it? Why is it valuable? Who should be using it? How should you use it effectively? And then I'm going to demonstrate how to use it. So what is lead scoring, guys? It's simply saying, I need lead. It's putting a number to every one of your leads, and it's putting a number, 1 being the lowest. And you can actually go as many, I think up to 100 or 99, I think currently in the system. I'm not actually sure, but I think it's up to 99 on your lead score. But typically what I advise you do is put 1 to 10 on your lead score. And the higher the number, the better the lead. And now the question becomes, well, how does that number increase? Do I have to increase it? Well, no, it's actually going to be automated based off of the behavior of your contacts inside of your interaction with them. Okay. So why is it valuable? Because you can focus on who is actually wanting to engage with you. So if they engage with you by opening emails, clicking on emails, replying to text messages, having conversations back and forth, filling out forms on your website or on one of your funnels or something like that, it's all in CRMX and you've built it and it's all connected, which it should be if you're using CRMX, then it's telling CRMX to increase their lead score. It just keeps increasing it. And the more it does that, the more you can see who you should follow up a little faster and accelerate your follow up. And you can even automate that if you'd like. Okay, who should be using it? This is going to be for setters and closers. So if you're a setter or a closer on the team, this is highly useful to you. It helps you focus. At the beginning of this, I said, hey, look, if you're like in a sales competition, for example, and it's Friday, it ends, and you're like, well, damn it, it's Friday morning. I have today only to win, and I need it. Or maybe you're winning and you want to keep your lead and you need at least one more close to keep your lead, right? Or what? Or if you're a setter, 5 more sets or 5 more show ups or whatever you're getting measured by your KPIs that you're going to win from. Well, how would you do that? I would focus on your hottest leads, the ones that have the highest score, and don't touch anybody else for now, at least. I put all my manual energy into the high lead scores. I put my automated bulk sending and bulk emails and bulk text messages to my lower scores, right? And then I would just focus on my hottest leads. That's it. That's pretty simple, right? Well, you can't do that if you don't have lead scoring. Now, to be frank with you, lead scoring has always been available. We set it up with automated workflows. We actually customized it for our CRMX clients. So anybody that becomes a client, you have lead scoring in a very customized way, meaning like you can really do what's called my BAFU system, behavioral accelerated follow-up, that I invented more or less, to where I use it and I write about it in my book, Follow-Up Fortunes. I use it to say, hey, I want to automate based off their behavior. I want to follow up with them accordingly. And you're able to tell it what to do, the system what to do. That way, you're not even having to use your energy on some of these hot leads. It's more just notifies you, and then it actually follows up for you. And then you just wait for replies. It's pretty cool. So that's how you use lead scores. Using it effectively, I just explained how should you use it effectively. And then let me just demonstrate how to go about it. So right now, I'm going to show you the basic one. The advanced lead scoring, I will have to do a different time. You're not missing out on anything right now. If you're not doing the basic lead scoring, start here, okay? So with CRMX, you have under your settings here, just make sure it's turned on, first of all, and you have to set it up. So I don't think it's set up in this demo sandbox account, so this is perfect. So I went to settings, went to manage scoring, and then you can see it's on draft and publish, okay? And you'd have to hit save. I'm not going to publish yet, but there's some demonstrative actions here, so you kind of get the idea. But you can delete these and start with your own. So like for this one, I'm going to delete this. I would recommend you do the same, because that tag, we don't even know what that is. If a contact booked an appointment in a calendar, the closer calendar, that's cool. If an appointment is confirmed. Okay, so let's start with these. I'm going to edit this one. And right now this says increase the score by 1 point, add, because you can subtract as well. So you can bring their score down as well. So if an email event is opened, so if they open an email, give them a point. Sure, let's keep that one the same for everybody. Anybody that opens an email, they get 1 point. Doesn't mean they're hot lead. We're going to define inside of my make-believe team right now, I'm going to say a 7 or above. In our brain, that means a hot lead. Until then, of course, you can go after 6s and 5s and 4s, but they're not as hot of a lead, right? So that's fine. So every time an email is open, they get a point. So if they open 6 emails, they will have a total of 6 points. Make sense? All right. So, and would you agree that's overall, that's a pretty warm lead if they've opened 6 of your emails? That's not bad. Usually you get like 1 or 2 opens maximum from prospects, unless they're like, highly engaged already. But I'm talking over time, your follow-up. All right. If an appointment is confirmed, that in CRMX world, guys, confirmed does not mean you called or had them click that they are confirming their appointment right before it happens. It simply means you confirm that that's a real appointment on your end. So a confirmed appointment in this case means a solid booked appointment. Okay. So that's good. I would definitely put that up. I would say that's 5 points, like at least. I'm just in this example, I'm going to say increase it by 5 points if they book an appointment. That's a solid appointment. And if the contact booked an appointment on a calendar, a closer calendar. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to delete this one. and I'm going to do this one here because that's redundant in this calendar, and I want it in the closer calendar or whatever calendar. Let's say I switched it to my in-home virtual calendar. And you can, by the way, this is based off of what calendars you have available in CRMX. So you'd have to set up your calendars, right? So I'm going to increase it by 5 points. And let's add a couple other rules, guys. What else should we have? Let me know if you want me to demonstrate something else, guys, in the chat. Just let me know. But look at all these events. I can say email events, contact changed. So that one's interesting. I haven't even done that. Okay, so if a contacts tags, is it changed? Or you can also, that's a little bit redundant as well. There's a lot of ways, several ways to skin a cat, if you will. If their custom fields changed to this, you could, I'm not going to use that one here. The most common one I would probably use here is this tag is added. If this certain tag that indicates they're interested was added, then I'm going to go ahead and let's say it's a incoming call tag. We have this tag that tags them when they make a incoming call. Then I'm going to increase that by 2 points because obviously they're calling us for a reason. Maybe they're just curious, but let's put 2 points on for sure. They're being attentive, at least trying to engage with us. All right, there's an example. You can do that one. And you can see you can get pretty granular with this. Let's say also if they submitted a form that's a new lead, if we have a new lead entry form, we're going to increase them by 1 point because they're a new lead. I want them to have at least 1 point on there. Let's see, what else do we got? Let's do contact replied for sure. So if they reply, you can do with a certain phrase, but what I would do is if they reply to anything, okay, and let's see if I can just add 2 points. Nope, I had to have a sub action. Doesn't have a tag, has a tag, and then I would say in this case, they have a new lead entry form. Hey, anybody who's filled out the new lead entry form and replies, I want them for whatever reason. I'm making this up, okay? Because your scenario might be different. I want them to get 2 points. Let's see what else we can do. One more. I'm just going to do one more example here. Survey, trigger link. Okay, yeah, trigger links, by the way, if you don't know what trigger links are, you set them up in your marketing, and they're links that in your marketing settings, and they're links that you can say, hey, if this link is clicked, then trigger a whole workflow if you want it to. You don't have to, but you can trigger a whole workflow of actions, a workflow of automations. Well, when you set up links, there's certain ones that really would indicate, hey, this person's interested. So let's say I have a promotion going on, and I set up a link for that specific promotion. It's my Halloween promotion, and it's the spooky solar deal that expires December, at midnight on Halloween, or November 1st, right? And I make a specific trigger link for my emails and my text messages that go out. So I send these out, and when they click to see, because that link is, hey, check out the details here, or go get your discount code here or something. The call to action in your email or your text message is go do this thing, which is click this link. When they click that link, go ahead and add points to them because they're raising their hand. I'm going to say add 3 points in this case. Okay. All right. So that's, oops, sorry. I got to choose a link. Let's say it was this one. It doesn't matter right now for this example. So there we go. There's all the ways they can get points. Now you can add a ton of them, right? Keep in mind, you can reduce the next thing to understand is if they click, let's say if they unsubscribed, then don't add a point, subtract something. Let's say I subtract 2 points. It doesn't mean, by the way, they won't buy solar from you. Don't think that they're out for good just because they unsubscribe from their email, but it certainly means they're not as interested, right? So let's reduce 2 points if they unsubscribe from our emails. And you can do other rules as well and then have that reduce. A good example of using this one would be like, hey, if they ever get these tags, because we have them as like, hey, failed credit, or whatever it is, failed credit, subprime, whatever you're going to indicate that this is a disqualified lead, um, or like at 10 points, even because they were like they were engaged. What I would do with certain tags is I would reduce it down to 0. So if you know that the most points they're going to have is 10, I would reduce 10, reduce it just all the way to 0. I'm sure in the future we can actually set their points instead of just add or subtract. You can actually set the points. I know they're working on that as well. But for now, I would just subtract like a bunch of points, like 10 points. And then that way, you know, okay, hey, don't pay attention to them. They look really engaged, but really they're already disqualified. They're already DQ'd. Okay. All right, cool. So hopefully this is helpful. What's cool though is now that I have this set up, it's actually going to, and I have to publish it right here. See that? Publish. What's going to happen? Come on. Did I miss something? Oh, I just need to hit. I'm going to refresh my screen to make sure because I'm made a lot of changes here. Oh, how long did they watch it for? Watching video. Yeah, that's a cool one. Let's try that one. Somebody's saying that. I don't know who that is. Is there one in here for video? No, you would have to apply a tag first. So yeah, you would apply a tag, a video watch tag. Essentially how you would do this, guys. Let me show you. So end in mind, let me start with the end in mind on the video watch one. That's a good one. So essentially whoever that is, Facebook user, it says on my end, contact tag is watched solar demonstration video at least 50%. There's a tag that I've created, make believe in your head right now. Okay. And you're like, cool, there it is. Boom. And I'm not going to even save this. Increase the points by 5. That's going to make them at least a warm lead for me. Okay. All right, great. And any other videos you could do. How you would set this up, not the lead score. I get that it's pretty straightforward. As long as the tag exists, you can set it up here. But how do you even get them? How do we know? Did you realize that you can do video tracking in here? So it's pretty nice. So what that means is this: I would go into your automation. I would have to there's a couple things you would have to have in place. This can feel overwhelming, and frankly it is if you don't know what you're doing until you get warmed up to the software. But you would need if you didn't know, there's a funnel builder. You'd need a funnel. And that funnel has a video hosted on it. Okay. So I'll show you sales appointment video. Here's an example. Let's say this is the video one. This is the page. And this video, there's no colors on it right now and stuff because we customize this for you as a solar, and you can customize this as well. But it says, watch this video. Watch this quick video before a solar appointment. This is a pre-solar appointment. This increases show up rates. So that's the purpose of it. But you can track how long they watch this video. If they watch 50%, apply 50% tag to them. Then that is what triggers their points to go up. That's how this would work. Okay. Wouldn't that be nice? Just to know, is it triggers and tells you, it increases their score, shows you that, and tells you, hey, they've watched at least 50% of the video. Well, how you would set that up, after once you set up the video on this page, you actually can say, cool, you have to set up an automation that says create workflow. And it's a video tracking trigger is what it's called. And you say it's the video duration percentage. You can also do just in this funnel, but I'm going to say video duration. No, let's do it in the funnel. Let me show you exactly. Is sales appointment funnel. Okay. And the video that I'm making sure they're watching, I don't have it uploaded right here. You would have to put that video. Dang it. Pretend like I put that video in there. Okay. So you have to have a video uploaded and it's hosted inside of CRMX. CRMX has video hosting. Okay. And so the video has to be hosted in order to track it. It can't be like this can't be a video you uploaded to YouTube or Vimeo or Wistia. Those are 3 popular hosts outside of CRMX's hosting. And you can embed those in your funnels. That's fine, but there's no way for CRMX to know how long they've watched them. not hosting that video. So it's not like magic. It has to host the video in order to know how long the viewer is watched it. So assume I don't have a hosted one in here uploaded. So assume that I specified that. Let's pretend that's in there. Okay. And then what I would do is say they've had to watch at least greater than or equal to 50%, because it's a percent. You don't have to put the percent sign in there. And then you hit save. Now, okay, we got a trigger in place, but what actions do we want to happen? Well, we say apply a tag. Remember how I said, hey, if they get this tag, so let's say 50% tag. So I would say watched pre-appointment video 50%. Okay. I created this tag. So remember, I showed you the lead scoring rule that said apply if they get this specific tag, give them these 5 points. That's the tag you're going to now put on them for that lead score. So you can do some really dynamic stuff in here, guys. I get that if that just confused and fried your brain, that's fine. That's okay. If it didn't, it's because you're used to this type of thinking. Hey, if this, then that, and I'm attaching it to all kinds of shit in here. Okay. So, but the cool thing is you can do this. I think for now, if you're a little overwhelmed or you're not following all the way, besides watching the recording of this, which you can, besides that, just understand it's possible. As soon as you know it's possible, it's just a matter of who can do it for me, or I'll learn it myself. But like at that point, nothing is stopping you as soon as you're like, well, damn, I might as well. Why don't I have that in place? Right. So add the tag. You could even say, oh, and if they click on that, I want to trigger this whole workflow. And you can say, add them to this whole other automated workflow that follows up with them and does this really cool stuff. Okay. Now I'm just giving you creative ideas. For now, I was just showing you this is how we would increase the score using a tag. We'd watch the video, the tag. So whoever asked for that. Oh, okay. Semper Solar, you were asking that. This is how you would do it. How could you increase the lead score based on video tracking? You'd have to do some of the setup I just showed you. You'd have to have the video uploaded, and then you would need to come in here and say video tracking of which video, 50% or more, or whatever percent you prefer. Add the tag to them, and then just make sure here, I'll show you again. Just make sure and come back to your, once you have all that front end set up, the back end on managing your scoring is now you would attach trigger link, tag added. Did I not save that one? Oh, I didn't save this, guys. Well, that's all right. That's when it was giving me that error. So let's do the, I would go like this, tag. Where's my tags? Contact tag is added. Now I can find that 50% one. Watch pre-appointment 50%. I'll have to get the guys to make this easier to see because that's a long tag name. That's why I like to have shorter ones. But I know that's my only watch pre-appointment tag in this case for 50% at least, because I typed in 50% and that's what's showing up. So there's that. Then I would say add 5 points. Okay. Hopefully you're following. Now we're set. I set up my funnel. I put my video on that page, the funnel page that they watch the video. I know that, and I also set up the workflow, the automated workflow that says it tells it what to do. Hey, if they watch this video 50%, apply this tag. Then I came in here in my engagement score and said, hey, and also increase the engagement score to 5 points by 5 points if they did watch that video. So now what's cool here's it full circle, guys. I don't think it's going to show lead scores inside of here because I don't have any in here. So I'm going to have to show you inside of another app what that looks like. I'll just turn on the privacy mode here. There we go. So if I go to conversations, check this out. See these? This is what it looks like now. This is a brand new feature, but it's also very powerful. So now you see these lead scores. Check that out. What's really cool in conversations is you can do this. See how there's always been filters and there's always been like latest, and then you can do sort. So this is filtering, and then there's sorting. So sorting is like just sort the order in here that you're. So right now I could just say, hey, don't show me anybody unless they're 7 or above. Boom. Now I'm in a thread. I'm in my conversations. I'm in this example of I'm trying to win this sales competition. Just show me that everybody is a 7 or above. Sweet. So I'm gonna click this one. See their conversation history. It's all loading in here. And you're like, huh, interesting. Got it. So Michael, right? And so then I'm gonna follow up with Michael on this. And let's say it still looks good after I look at the history. I'm like, yep, looks good. I can check their notes. I can do all the stuff that a CRM should let you do. And then from there, say, cool, I'm gonna make a call right now. Or I'm gonna send them a text and say and ask them if they're available right now. So I'm gonna send a text, or I can even have I could have an automated workflow that's just for my hot leads that says, hey, when they're at least this, I can just have that workflow get triggered. Or I can manually add them to that workflow right now that sends a text to Michael, also emails them, and then waits for the reply. And while I'm waiting for a reply, guess what I'm doing? I'm going to the next one and adding them to the workflow. I'm going to the next one and adding them to the workflow. And now I've like reached out automatically in a lot of ways. It's automated. I've manually added to them to an automation, but it's helping me control the cadence of when I want to do that because I'm trying to win the sales competition in my hypothetical example here. And so now I'm good. So sweet. I have my lead scoring set up because you only have to do that once, right? And then now you're good. Anytime in my daily actions at this point should be check my pipeline. I'm just giving you an example. Check my sales pipeline. Then based off, and then I'm like, okay, yeah, I moved them along. That's great. But I'm going to go to my conversations now that I moved those along and see anybody who may not even be in my sales pipeline yet, or they're old and they're not in my, not like they're old. When I say old, they're in long-term follow-up. So I don't want them in my sales pipeline. They're in long-term follow-up, but man, they've been opening my emails and clicking on them and doing all kinds of cool stuff. I need to follow up with them right now. They seem like a hot lead. And so now I can do this as an action, follow up with the right people at the right time. That's key. And how do you know it's the right time, guys? Because their score is telling you so. The score is tracking their behavior. And if they're behaving in a positive way, and they're doing it in frequency, like the frequency goes up because their score is going up, then now you know it's the right time. You don't have to be a genius to understand that, right? So now I just have to filter by that if I wanted to. I can also sort by this. Let's say I didn't filter at all, guys. I didn't filter. I'm just going to clear my filters right here. I can say clear filters, okay? And then let's say I was looking at them, I'm like, okay, here's all my lead scores, and I'm fine with seeing all these. That's fine but I do want to sort by the highest one. You say sort by high to low engagement score, and there we go. I just start at the top and move my way down on my follow up. Does that make sense, guys? So it's pretty cool. I just move my way down, follow up, and probably when I get to my twos, I probably stop. I'm not gonna like I don't need to follow up with people who are less than a 2 in this case. And then I need to move on with some other sales activity. So hopefully that helps you setters and your closers out there that you can move quickly. The first thing right now, the first action you need to take is decide, come in here and play with it. And so, but decide what score means anything. Like what are these scores? What do they mean to you? Set up your scoring, in other words. Okay. And then from there, you can go ahead. Let me get back into the sandbox account. You can go ahead and set up your start following up according to those lead scores. But first, you got to set up the lead score, turn it on. It has to be published too, guys. You can't, just because you set it up does not mean it's published. The managed scoring right here. When I say published, it's this little thing right here. So make sure it's published. Hit save, and then it'll say score profile saved successfully, and you're good to go. So after this, anybody who meets that criteria, they're going to start getting that little score preview that I showed you earlier on the other app that we had. Sweet. Okay. That is key. Lead scoring, if you're not using it that way, I just went into the basic. That's actually the basics. Now the video thing, if you just watch me set up the video, because that was Semper Solar, one of our clients was saying, hey, how would I do that for video watching and trigger points for that? That's advanced. I would call that advanced. But everything else, just setting up lead scoring, is basic. Okay. That's basic things you should have in place. Advanced lead scoring is the BAFU system. That's behavioral accelerated follow-up. So I get that behavioral like lead scoring is based off behavior. There's nothing advanced about that, but it's accelerating follow up that is more advanced, and it's automated acceleration. So let me show you how might go about doing that when I want to automate the acceleration of my follow up because their lead score went up. Okay. And so what I would do is eventually we're going to have there's well, I won't go into the eventuallys. Let me show you what's here. So right here, don't worry about the trigger for now, and let's just call it my Bafu system. I'm making this up. The Bafu system's already built in for you guys, by the way. I'm just showing you if you wanted to create your own custom way of going about this. Like, hey, when it's time to follow up with people and I want to accelerate it, here's how I do it. I say, great. I'm first of all, I don't want it to accidentally follow up with them. This is just a good practice in general with automations. I want to wait for I'm typing this in just so it makes sense later. Appropriate time. I would wait a time delay and just wait. Let's call it. In this case, I don't want to scare people. Just right when they opened an email, I call them or they like suddenly get followed up with. But let's just like wait 1 hour. Okay, so wait 1 hour and click this little advanced toggle, and then say I don't care which date I'm up with them. That's fine. So I want all, or excuse me, day of the week. I don't care. I want all of them. Default, it doesn't go on weekends, but there it is. I don't care. I want it to follow up any day of the week, but I certainly, because I'm going to use text messaging in here, I don't want to text them or email them in the middle of the night or like at 5 a.m. on accident. Okay. So I'm going to say a window of time, and I'm going to go all the way out to here to like, I'm on central time and my app is on central time. I know that mentally. So I'm like, but I also sell across the states. So in that case, I have to be safe. So I'm like, all right, the earliest I want it to go out Pacific time for my clients in San Diego, for instance, then I don't want to send it central time any earlier than like 11 o'clock central because the app is only sending in central time. And then I know that that means it won't send out any earlier than 9 a.m. San Diego time, right? So I'm safe there. And I don't want to send it any later, like Eastern time, than like let's just call it 6:30 p.m. So then that means 5:30 p.m. Get to my PMs here. Okay. So some of this is basic, but I just hopefully this is helpful to watch and have me talk you through like how I'm logically making decisions here. So like there we go. So now I have the appropriate time. I'm not going to accidentally accelerate my follow-up at the wrong time. Okay. I'm not going to like text them in the middle of the night or at 5 a.m. Now I'll say, send them an email. Let's say that was my action. And I'm not going to type up the email, guys. I'm just going to like put in something. Okay. So test, test, test. Okay. And then I say, but at the same time, I'm going to send a text message to them, SMS. And then I'm going to say, you know what? I want to repeat this pattern for 3 days. So if they hit this lead score, I want to automatically accelerate my follow up for 3 days to see if they will reply to me. Okay. So this, but I don't want to have to build all this out again. I'm just going to tweak those. So why not just say, I'm going to wait again, and then I'm going to send an email and a text. So let's just copy that. I don't need to add them manually anymore. I can just say copy. I can say copy action, which is just this one, or I can say copy all actions from here, which is mean this one and down, which is that's the one I want. And then it shows me, do you want to copy it to there, to here, or here? And I want it down below. So see how it just immediately put all that in there for me. The only thing I need to change now are just the timing. So this one I'm changing to 1 day, and I'll keep the same window. Wait 1 day. And I'll keep that same setup between these times for the actions to happen. And then I would change my email out, right? I'd custom make this email that's a slightly different on my follow-up. Hey, checking in with you. You'd have to script that out, use ChatGPT, things like that to make a good script for you. And then a text message, same thing. And then I would repeat that one more time. So I'm like, okay, cool. Copy actions from here, copy it here, and wait 1 day. So right now, I realized that I would probably have to spend about another hour on this, okay, for writing my emails and truly getting it down. But I just showed you how to build like an automated follow-up sequence based off of lead score or based off of behavior. Just anytime you want to add somebody to this manually, you can. And I can literally follow up with somebody for 3 days straight without having to remember until they reply. And by the way, the settings in here, you can say specifically stop this on response. So, hey, if they reply, stop on any response to my email or my text. Just stop. Okay. I don't want to accidentally keep following up with them and piss them off and push them away after that. So, right now, I'm sending out an email and a text after they meet. In this example, they met a certain lead score. Then I'm going to wait 1 day. If they don't reply, it will continue. If they did reply to either one of these, it will stop this whole automation. And your job at that point is to see that reply and start and keep that conversation going. This has done its job at that point. Does that make sense? Okay. And then it waits. Let's say they didn't reply though, and then it just continues. It'll send another email and a text. It'll wait another day. If they still didn't reply, it'll try one more time for you. You chose what it should say in here. You chose the timers. You can adjust these timers to wait 1 day or 2 days or 1 hour or whatever. And you can also do other actions in here too. It doesn't have to be just an email or a text. You can also schedule you could say notify me via text message, the assigned user that's assigned. And you would type up something in here. Let's say, hot lead follow, make, I'll say hot lead action, um, call, call now. Now you don't have to do it this way. There's other tools or ways you can automate this, but I found this is probably the easiest for users that aren't always inside of CRMX, but you need them to call, like you have a team and you're assigning these out. Then it still works if you don't have a team, by the way. I'm just showing you this is more useful then I would say cool, call now. I would put and then I would say who are they calling. I'd put their full name. Bob Smith is the prospect name. Here's their email just in case you need it, and here's their phone number. And I wouldn't even put the email right there. I would put it below if I was going to put it. There's their phone number. And if you did have other information on them, you can put it in here. You could like put their full address right here. You can because remember, they're a lead usually because you had information on them already. Maybe you had their address, especially if they were like a Facebook or YouTube lead that went through your whole funnel and they filled out their address, their estimated credit score, their roof type, their shading, their utility company. You can actually put all of those things in here if you wanted to. And so when it texts them, it says, hey, hot lead action, hot lead. And you might say follow up action, right? Because this is not a new lead. It's a follow-up action. Call now, and you can be specific of what this is, more so for your situation. Like if you want them to know exactly what type of hot lead because they met a lead score or something, you can have your own vernacular inside of your team. And then you would say, here's their name, phone number, and their address, and anything else, utility company, roof type, blah, 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 blah. Hit save. And now it not only does that, it'll notify you. Now, obviously, I wouldn't put it at the end. I would move. You can move an action if you didn't know that. Move just this one action. Move. And I want to move it right up here after this text message. So I want the email to go out and a text to go out, and then I want it to notify my assigned sales rep. And if that's me, then I'll get notified. Okay. So hit save and we're good. Now you should publish publish your campaigns, right? So there we go. Now how do I get people in here? Well, I can just, for now, I don't have to automate everything. I want to automate the messaging. That's fine. Cause I don't want to have to type that damn text and email that I would send to anybody. I don't need to change that. It's going to be the same for everyone that way, but I don't necessarily want this to trigger on accident. So what I would do is I would go back to my conversations. I would filter or go to my lead score, high to low, right? I know nothing's going to show here, guys, but I don't have a lead score, but let's pretend this is my one right here. And I'm like, yep, Bob Marley's the one I want to go ahead and do this for, I can say right here on the right hand side, it shows up. I say add, and then I can just type into this workflow. Okay. So add, and I find Bafu. There it is. And I don't need to put a date and time. I just want to add them now. I already have the timers built into the workflow. And I hit save, and now they are entered in. The wow, okay, this is new. Hold on a second. It's making me choose a date. This is brand new, guys, on the side here, how it's doing this. So that's kind of cool. I like it. Hold on a second. Boom. Let's choose, I'll just add them now. Confirm, save. And now it adds them in. So from here on, now it's not going to send a text because I don't think there is a phone number in here, but it will attempt to send the email, and it's only going to send between 5:30. So it's actually going to wait until tomorrow to send this because it's past 5:30 Central is what my timer was on, remember, for the appropriate time. So it's going to wait till tomorrow morning to send a text and an email. But my follow-up is done. I accelerated the follow-up. I can move on with my actions for the day. I can go close the deal if I have a sales appointment. I mean, the goal of follow-up and automating your follow-up, guys, is not to spend a ton of time on it. You want to spend time on making money, meaning sitting in front of people and having sales conversations, right? Like you're sitting down, closing deals. As a sales rep, that is your most valuable time you can spend. And then it goes down from there. The next valuable time from there, you could argue, well, if I'm not sitting with them, I should be talking with them to book appointments, or I should be preparing for my appointments, or I should be following up, right? And so you just want to go in that order. So that means if follow up is not your highest priority, as long as you have some conversations, you should not be canceling a sales appointment so you can follow up with people, right? You would hold your sales appointment, but you don't want to miss the follow-ups. You just automate it like this. You're like, cool, I'm going to be in sales appointments all day. I promised my team that I would be on top of follow-up, and I didn't do that, or I promised myself. So I'm going to automate it instead. I'm going to go to these 3 sales appointments today because they're going to take up all, or, let's say they're in-home appointments and there's you're in a rural area and you have to drive around everywhere. So let's say 3 appointments is going to take up most of your day, but you want all this follow-up coming up. In the morning, I'd wake up an extra half hour and I would grab all my people and I would put them into those workflows. And I'd say, now I'm going to go close some deals. And then I'm going to come back at the end of the day and see how many replies I got from my follow-up. Does that make sense? This is how I used to start thinking using a system like this, is especially if you're a sales rep. All right. Any comments, guys? Anybody want to come on stage and be a hot seat for 15 minutes? Want to solve a problem with me? We got about 12 minutes, actually. Anybody? In fact, I'm not even going to ask. I'm just going to say invite. I'm going to say invite guests. And in the comments, I'm posting the link if you want to come on stage. This is your chance to jump in here and ask a question, that not just ask a question, but say, hey, how would I do, and then fill in the blank. And then I'll show you how to do it, how I would go about it. The link is in the comments there. While I'm waiting for somebody to jump on stage here, all you got to do is click on that link. You fill out your name on there and you'll pop on stage. I'll see you on stage and I'll bring you on. Okay. So just be ready. I don't think you have to share your camera. Don't be scared if you're like not in a good spot. Okay, guys, like get past the fear of being on camera. And then also you don't have to be on camera. You can just turn off camera and only have audio on. I certainly don't want to see you in your underwear. But other than that, jump in. Now, as you are making that decision, I can see a bunch of you are on here. So jump in and get on stage. If I have time to do 2 or more, I will. But in the meantime, while I'm talking about that, if you didn't see, you can, there should be a little scrolling banner. Yeah, it's still there. There should be, if you don't have CRMX right now and you're somehow here, we've been talking about CRMX this whole time. So go to CRMX free trial, CRMXfreetrial.com, you can get a free trial. You can go through the whole thing. You can see these features. You can try it out for yourself. If you don't have a CRM that's for specifically for marketing and sales, this will change the game for you. CRMX is built specifically for home service sales. And right now, we pretty much, I mean, 98% of our focus is just on solar as well. So if you're in solar, even better. Now, does the CRM work for any industry? Well, yeah, it's just that we built out a lot of the follow-up and pre-built and pre-written and created all these automations just for solar as well. And so if you're in solar, we have not only a CRM, but a CRM built just for solar for you, and it's already done, right? If you're not, that's fine. Don't worry about it. But if you want a free trial, go for it. I don't see anybody on stage yet. You guys don't have any questions for me? Do you see the link? Oh, you know what? It's not posting the link, guys, on darn it. Okay, I see what's happening. Maybe. Is there a link that's posting inside of Facebook? It might not be posting there, guys. If you look in the chat, in the comments, guys, you'll see a link to StreamYard.com, and it has some kind of funky little thing in there. I see somebody gave it a thumbs up. A couple thumbs up now. Grab that link. JC, what's up, man? Thanks for sharing. Yeah, you bet. Guys, jump in to that link and you're able to now join me on stage. I will let you in once you join. If you want to be on a hot seat, just ask anything at all. It doesn't have to be anything special. It doesn't have to do with lead scoring. It can do anything at all. I'll try my best to solve that problem for you. This is our hot seat portion of the training. No hot seats today. Don't be shy. Hot seat, no link. Okay, good to know. I'm gonna have a couple ways for you then. So I'm gonna put in the banner on here. Banner meaning like here, it's on screen. Okay, it's on screen right now. You see this? It says StreamYard.com/. Oh man, that's such a pain in the ass to type in. I'm sorry. I thought the link. I don't know why the link's not showing up there. In Facebook, I put it in the chat here. I know it's showing up on YouTube because we're streaming it there. It looks like it posted only there. It says that we've been having, there's some trouble here. I'll try posting it in the YouTube from my phone, okay? Or from my, hey, there's Jose. Okay, hot seat, accepted. What's up?
Hey.
Live. What's going on?
What's going on? Man, thank God for iPhone. You can just screenshot and then click on the link to get on that.
Oh, really? That's how you did it?
Yeah. That's the fastest way to do it. Yeah, so I followed up and I have a lot of notes that I took on that score. I think that's going to be awesome. That's something I want to implement for our Q4 here in Chicago. It's about to hit the winter season. So, we want to start calling some leads on these cold blizzard days. But I have a pipeline from 2022. So what would be your best, course of action on just maneuvering through all of this? Would you go through first all of your customers from 2022 and on and see who opened up their emails first and then start filtering from there? Would you go from who's on the do not, put stop? How would you start?
I would start by defining my criteria, and I know you're asking me that right now, so let's just make it up. So I'd first define the criteria, even just on my notes somewhere, just like, okay, what seems like a qualified person, the minimum qualifications, So and that's sometimes that's better to say who we don't want to follow up. It's better to start like that, right? So I would go through, for everyone watching here, you can actually create a smart list, and maybe I would start there. I'm just gonna go with it here. A lot of times, Jose, I'd like start somewhere. I'm like, ooh, that was good, but I think I have a better idea. So here's where I would start. Let's say this is my we got to pretend, because this is a sandbox account, a play account, right? So like, let's pretend there's thousands or hundreds in here, and I need to filter. And I say, well, let's create a filter, and this filter I'm going to save, and it's called a smart list. So that's the first step I would do. And then I'm going to, let me just outline the steps. I'm going to create a smart list. Step one, let's pretend you already know what you're going to do. Step two is I'm going to take that smart list and I'm going to say, well, great. What do I want to do with them? Well, I would actually suggest, if it's been a bit, that you've reached out to them. And if you're a CRMX client, though, they are in your long-term follow-up, just so you're aware, but they may not have received a promotion from you in a while, like a great deal, something to get their attention, right? Like where it's a little more salesy, and that's okay, because it's not like you've been beating them over the head with sales stuff. And so it's okay to reach out to them and let them know we have a promo going on for Halloween or for Black Friday coming up or whatever, right? And so let's say that's your plan to run a promotion. That's, if you haven't ran a promotion in the last 3 months, I would run one now. So there's my second thing. So I get my smart list that I want to run the promotion to. I create that. Step two would be create the promo, which just simply means, hey, ChatGPT, I am a solar company. Then we are going to give a free appliance away for everybody, that up to $1,000 value energy efficiency appliance of their choice, for everyone that gets solar installed with our company. Please help me write a promotion that gets their attention. And then it says, okay, great. And then you go through and give ChatGPT all your prompts and get the content written, right? Hey, also write me some social media posts. Also write me some emails to send out to my list. Also write me a text message to send out to my list. Like, you follow? So create your promo, and then tell it to create all your content that you're going to send out to them. And then in that's a whole nother training, but overall I'm giving you the quick tips are just, you can tell it to write in your tone too, like, hey, keep it semi-casual and a little bit of humor in there, so that way it's a fun promo, but you don't want to be super formal or whatever your style is, right? I'm just trying to say that's what you're telling ChatGPT. Now you have your content and you're like, well, then how do I send it out? Well, what I would do is I'd go into your automation, just like I did with that Bafu system, and I would build it. I would build the promo. So I would say, cool. And by the way, everything I'm building right here, you could just duplicate each quarter and run another promo to your list. Okay. To the smart list that we're going to create. But I would just say promo, Halloween. Is it two? Is it like that? I think so. So I'm not going to put a trigger, because I'm just going to select all of my list and just throw them in here. So I don't need a trigger. I just need actions. And so I would just do that same thing. You saw me do that. Hey, wait. In this case, I might, you could just say wait, but I would say event. You can say start. You can say set a time for your promo, or your promotion, I should say. And the time would be your expiration time. So a specific date and time. And I'd say this promotion ends on November 1st. It doesn't have to. I hope you understand this is just all hypothetical. At noon on December 1st is the last time you can take advantage of this promotion. I hit save action. And then from there on, when I say wait, I actually can say wait based off of the event time that I just put. And I'll say wait until 5 days before the promo time. So now it's based off of this time I just set. Does that make sense? So in the future, Jose, you can actually come in and just change the promo date, change up the copy, and it'll wait the exact amount of dates and times before it sends the right one all the way to the countdown of the event, right? Like, today's your last day, 24 hours left, whatever. Like, it'll do that for you. It knows based off of this time. So you just have to change this in the copy, and you just keep running promotions every quarter.
So you just build a skeleton and then
yeah, exactly. So now wait, send an email, wait, send text, wait, also have tell our call center, or if you have like 2 people that call right out, notify them it's time to call, right? Whatever you're going to do for the promotional outreach besides social media. Social media, you can't do it here. It's not like it posts for you on social media and your automations. You don't need it to either. You can just post and let people know there's a promo going on. The point is if you've built a list, that's a valuable list. You save this promo, publish it, and then now it comes back to this contacts. What do you do? Well, I'm going to filter all my contacts. I'm going to make up some scenarios. Just know that you can filter by all this stuff, guys. Like, it's so much you can filter and really narrow down your list. In this case, it should be my list that's an email subscriber at minimum and has not unsubscribed and is not on the D&D list and or DNC list, but like DNC is like the federal / governmental don't contact me, don't call me, right? The D&D list is just means do not disturb, and that is just for CRMX alone. So you've turned do not disturb on so they don't get any automations, right? It doesn't mean they said, you know, go screw yourself, I don't want you to ever contact me. Like, that's different, right? They might have a D&D turned on, but it doesn't mean you can't contact them. I'm just giving you examples. So let's do some filters here. So let's say I want everybody that, in this case, I'm going to say doesn't have, okay? Because I want everyone, but I don't want anyone that is not unsubscribed. Let's say there was an unsub. Again, we're in a sandbox account, guys, so like some of this I'm just making up on the fly. But like if there's a tag for opted out or unsubscribed from, here's one, like opted out of email or SMS even. Let's see if there's one. Yeah, opted out. Like, make sure they are not opted out of email or text in order to throw them into this campaign. Okay. And then also, so I'm going to put that as my first criteria, and make sure they're not a customer. So I might have a tag or a field based off of that. So let's just say there is a tag. And let's say it's called some kind of customer tag. Okay. I don't know what it is, but let's pretend this is the tag that says current customer or past customer. I don't want to send that to them either. In this,
maybe we can put like one customers, one, do not contact customers that are one.
Yeah. Oh, you mean like the sales stage? Yeah. So I can say sales stage. Thank you. So as long as your team's good at whatever your team's good at updating, use that input, right? So like, oops, this isn't the right one. Sorry. It's opportunity is what it stage. Pipeline stage. I was using the wrong one. Opportunity information pipeline stage is in whatever one. Let's say it's this. You might not have door-to-door and virtual, but whatever your sales pipeline is, right? And then is in these stages, interested, new leads, or whatever. Right now, you wouldn't be able to say is not one. You only can say is. I know that feature is coming soon because it's been big request. Tagging is probably the best way to say is not. A lot of these pipeline stages, we can't say is not in one. Does that make sense? So, but either way, it doesn't matter. It's not hard. There's always a way around it. Right now, if I was running a promotion, I would say, and I didn't have that available, Jose, let's pretend you don't, like you may not. So I'm going to show you in real time on the hot seat, right? So like I have my smart list, but I'm like, but it's missing, I'm going to call it promo list. So I've saved it. And now I see how all is right here on my contacts, all. And now I have this promo list, but I still want more and more filter on it. And I'm like, but I want that customer tag that they're not a customer. You can actually go and search all the contacts that are in one and then apply a tag to them. Does that make sense? So you can still apply a tag to them. So what I would do is just say, hey, show me all people in the stage, showing you how I do this in real time, is in whatever stage that is. There's not, in this example, there isn't the one, but let's say it's appointment kept. Okay. Just trying to give you an example. And now I would say, well, I don't want to save it as a smart list. I just want to see those customers, and I would select them. Again, I wish I had. So let's say these are all of them. I would just select them right now and apply that tag so they can be excluded. So then I'd say add tag, call it one.
Oh, okay.
And then add it to them. So now they all have the tag because those are my one clients, right? And now in my promo list, it is filtering them out because I've told it to get rid of tag is not one. So I can go in here. Sorry, I know that was a little workaround, but it works. It actually works like that. So now you can do that. You can add your one tag, and now you have your promo list. And from here on, your filters, unless you need to change those filters, Jose, you just keep that smart list right here. And anytime you want to run a promo, you grab that list and you're going to, let's pretend there's a list though. Let's say this is it. I select all. This is how fast it would be after you've updated your promo. I hit the little robot, add to promo, whatever that promo, didn't I call it promo? I don't think I published it, so it's not going to show up. But let's say this is the promo one. And this is just a specific thing. It just wants you to make a note of what you're doing. I can say add all at once right now, which I should be able to because I put a specific timer on it, Jose. Remember I said date and time, like a specific date and time of the promotion. If I say add them now, it's still going to wait till the promo won't start until I told it to. And so it'd say, okay, wait 7 days before the promotion, and then they get their first email and a text message. And then it's going to say, wait 5 days before it. And then it's going to count down, wait 3 days, then 1 day. And then all those messages are according to those days. It's like you already told Chat GPT to say, write me an email series that counts down to this promo, like a 7-day email series that counts down. And then it has all those emails and you just throw them in here. Those are the emails they'd receive accordingly. And all I had to do is just add them to this workflow like that, and I'd be done. Boom. So from once you get these things flowing, just your first one, that skeleton, like you mentioned, you call it a skeleton. It's the same thing every time after that. You just adjust the skeleton before you hit go. And you're good to go. Your smart list should stay relatively the same unless like you have a new idea of what you want to filter. The smart list, you don't have to update. Once you have the filters in, that stays the same. And you'll watch that grow over time, right? Especially if it's a long, like if it's your list of prospects, you'll go from 500 to 600 to 700 to 800, and you'll see that grow. And you just keep running promos to them whenever you want.
Yeah, because I was even thinking about doing a smart list for customers that were already installed, right? And giving them instead of $1,000 back, $2,000 back as an incentive for referring somebody. So you're creating two different smart lists.
Yeah. So promo, my promo list, and you can say my customer referral promo or whatever customer promo, and now you have two different lists. Yeah. You can have your one customers that you run a referral program to, and the other ones get solar with a special offer.
Sweet. Yep. Cool. That's awesome. That answered my question.
All right, man. Glad it's helpful. Good to see you, man.
Yeah. Thanks. Likewise, brother.
All right. I'll kick you off stage here. Thanks for being on here. All right, everybody say thanks to Jose for being on the hot seat. That was good. A lot of good stuff there. That's what we're going to do every week. We are going to run through this thing next week. On the Cash Clinic, we'll pretty much do the same thing. I am going to let you know right now, this is a feature you should start using, and I'm going to end with this, and we'll do more training on it in the future. But like, you can go read the documentation inside of CRMX under the help menu right here. There's a help menu right here, guys. Support or tutorials actually is what you want. And then you can type whatever you're looking for in here. If you just click on this, access all the tutorials, they're here. But the point is, you can actually see all this great stuff in here. You can find it, what I'm showing you, because we keep that updated. But right here as well, CRMX Updates has all the latest updates. This is relatively new on the left here. So you can see all these new stuff, these updates that we're making. You can just check it out, make it a habit, like once a week and come in. I get addicted to this kind of stuff because I love like when new things come out. I'm like, oh, the engagement score, like that's what we're talking about, lead scoring. But if I wanted to know more about that interactive voice response, which is that call tree, I can click on this. It shows this, and there's a video here. I think it's just loading. There it goes. There's a 4-minute video walking me through a quick demo of what that looks like. So just know that that stuff's available, guys. You can search what I'm about to show you. But this contact and opportunity followers is really cool. I'm not going to go deep into this. We're wrapping up, but just understand a follower is one of the biggest features we've had. If you have a setter and a closer, this is a game changer for you. Before, you could not assign more than one person to a contact record. Okay. which means that person is filtering by their own contacts, right? And they only want to see, the setter only wants to see their contacts. But let's say they set an appointment for a closer. They have to, in order for the closer to see the lead, they, or at least filter by their own leads, right? And most closers only want to see their leads. So they're seeing it by only them inside of their sales pipeline. Don't show me everybody else's, just show me my stuff. Well, they won't see it because it's assigned to the setter. So then the setter had to then assign it to the closer. The closer goes to the appointment, and this happens all the time. And there's they canceled or they no-showed or something. And then the closer forgets to assign it back to the setter to reset the appointment. And so it just sits there, nothing's happening. Well, now because you can assign followers, they both can see it. You can have an assigned person, and then you can have a follower on top of it, right? You can actually have multiple followers if you want. And that is now in here. This little feature in here, you'll see it. You can watch documentation on it, but I'm pretty excited about this because, man, I've been waiting for like 2 years on this thing for this to be like this. So like now we have it. It's finally in here. So like you can have one person assigned here. Let me privacy mode this. One person assigned here. And then what I can do is do followers right here. So Jacob Lee, but maybe I want to assign myself to follow this. And now it'll show up in my filters when I'm filtering my pipeline with anybody that's assigned to me or that I should see. It's basically saying, show me anyone I'm assigned to or I'm following. And now I can see all of that. I can also see who's the assigned person. So if Jacob was setting appointments for me in this hypothetical example, then I would see, oh, well, Jacob's still setting that appointment, but at least I see he's still working on it. When before I had no idea. And it was just, I was blind to what was happening. Vice versa too. If wanted to sign and Jacob wants to check it out, he can assign himself as a follower or whoever can assign him. You can do that inside of contacts, and you can do it in another level. Let's say you didn't want the contacts, you don't want followers, but you only wanted to do it inside of your pipeline. You can do what's called a opportunity follower as well. And that exists, and that's nice to have as well. So add follower right here, right? And now this opportunities and contacts are different. If you're new to CRMX, it makes sense once you understand it, but an opportunity is just a sales opportunity. They are a lead you're working on right now, or a sale that you're working on right now. And you can just have followers for only those, not for all contacts, right? So you can have it just for that. Anyways, the point is now you can finally see multiple followers, even if, or excuse me, multiple contacts or sales opportunities, even if you're not the like OG or assigned user to that contact. I think that's pretty powerful. So, all right, that's it. I'm going to wrap it up. We went about 10 minutes too long over, but I'm just trying to deliver some hot value on this first session for you guys. Certainly go learn this. If you have a setter and closer team, you need to be using this for now on, the contact and opportunity followers. It's going to save a lot of time and confusion, and it's going to allow you to not mess up your own appointments and follow-ups because now, you know, a closer or setter handoff between the two, there's no confusion and nothing gets lost through the cracks there from then on. So it's really, really nice. Thanks for being here, guys. JC, thanks for being here, and whoever else was here live. I know there's just a couple of you now. Brian, thanks. Pat, thank you. And it looks like Jose was here. I know he was here. He was with us. And then we had at least a good 10 to 15 here live. So I appreciate it. Until next week, remember, you can mark it down over the next several weeks. We're about all the way through Thanksgiving. I'm going to go live every Wednesday. The only Wednesday I'm not going to be going live for a CRMX Cash Clinic is going to be on Wednesday, November 22nd. That's the day before Thanksgiving. I'm probably not going to go live then. We'll be on vacation. We're going to be down in Florida. I live in Florida, but down in Orlando at Universal Studios. So I will not be going live that day. But between now and Thanksgiving week, we're going to be going live. That's 3 more weeks in a row where you can just mark your calendars now. Every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Central, which is 6 p.m. Eastern, which is 4 p.m. Mountain, which is 3 p.m. Pacific. Okay. So mark your calendars now. And all you have to do is you can go to CRMX cashclinic.com if you're not registered to get reminders. And I'll send you an email and a text reminder. You'll get about 3 reminders, 2 email reminders, so you're not super annoyed or anything, and then a text reminder 15 minutes before it starts. And it has all those 2 emails and the 1 text each week will have the link to join us. So if you just want it that simple, then just go register. Okay. Go register at CRMX.cashclinic.com and you'll be registered and set up for that. And here, I'll put a little, I'll put that little banner up here for you right here. That's if you want to join us live. But if you want the reminders, you're going to need to go here and register. You see this one? You guys see that? CRMXcashclinic.com. Go register for the next one. This is our first one. I'm excited that it was useful. I'm glad that we had somebody come on the hot seat. That was fun. So if you're a CRMX user or an aspiring or curious about CRMX, then this is what you need to be on and start seeing how much value you can get out of it and how you can start really amplifying your automated follow-ups, your automated marketing. And we're just going to dive deep every week into different topics and take hot seats and Q&A. And it is going to be very, very fun. So mark your calendars every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Central, and we'll see you on the next one, which is going to be November 1st. Man, a week from today, guys. We're already in November. November 1st, 5 p.m. Central. See you then.